Hello and welcome to Lecture Loops. In this video, we will try to understand bubble sort algorithm with the help of C program. We'll also do some optimization in the program. And if you want to know what is the optimization, please watch my video till end. I hope you have already watched my previous video about bubble sort algorithm. If not, no problem, then you can go through that video after watching this one. So first of all, I will tell you what is bubble sort. Bubble sort is actually a sorting technique. And then what is sorting? Sorting means basically arranging the elements of an array or list in an ascending order or descending order. So in bubble sort, we always compare adjacent elements with each other, and in each iteration, or we can say in each pass, the largest element goes downwards, or we can say at the last position of the array. In the next pass, the second largest element of the array or the list, it goes to the second last position. In this way, one by one, each and every element gets sorted, and overall we get a complete sorted list or completely sorted array. So now we'll see how to do this how to implement this in C with the help of a C program. So first of all, we have to take an array. So I'm taking an array with a simple name X. So here it is 5, 6, 2, 9 and 4. Suppose I have taken these many elements. So I have taken 5 elements here and I have initialized the array like this. Now we will start our logic for the sorting. So for sorting, we are going to use two for loops. Nested for loops we are going to use, and I less than 5. This is for this is the outer loop, and we are using I counter here and I plus plus like this, and then one more loop, the J loop, or it will also start with 0, but it will go till 5 minus I minus 1. Actually 5 minus I minus 1 means actually 5 is n minus I minus 1. So basically we have taken 5 elements. So I put here 5. So basically what happens in the first pass, we will compare each and every element, like we will compare 5 and 6. If 5 is greater than 6, then we will swap it. Okay, if not, then we will increment j, and then again we will compare 6 with 2. Okay, so 6 is greater than 2, yes, then these elements will get swapped. Okay, so 2 will come here and 6 will go here. After that, we will compare 6 with 9. If 6 is greater than 9, then we will also swap it, but 6 is not greater than 9, so we will not swap it. And then here it is 9 and 4, then we will compare 9 and 4, and here 9 is greater than 4, so it will be swapped, and ultimately 9 will be at the last position. So what we are doing, we are comparing 0th element with the first element, then first element with the second element, then the second element with the third element, and third element with the fourth element. So it is like it goes from 0 to 5 minus I minus 1, means it will become for first iteration the value of I will be 0, so it will be 5 minus I minus 1 means 0 minus 1, it will actually become 4. So it will go from 0 to less than 4, means 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0th element will be compared with the first, first will be compared with second, second will be compared with third, and third will be compared with fourth, and that's all. Okay, so we are going to compare actually what we let's do that also. If x j is greater than x j plus 1. Okay, so we are comparing j with j plus 1, and then if if xj is greater than xj1, then we have to swap, otherwise not. So for swapping, we will use a third variable temp, and then what we'll do, we'll put the value of xj in temp, and then in xj we can put xj value of xj plus 1 like this, and then xj plus 1 equals to temp, like this. In this way we can perform the swapping. And I was telling you about this 5 minus I minus 1, and in the next pass when I will become 1, what will happen? Now 9 is at the last position. Okay, so we know that 9 is the largest element, and it is at the last position. It need not to be swapped with any other element. Now what will we do? We will again start j from 0, and this time because I is 1, then it will become 5 minus I minus 1, that is 5 minus 2, and that is 3. So it will goes from 0, and first element will be compared, then first and second element will be compared, and second and third element will be compared, and that's all. We need not to compare this element with this, because at that time 9 will be here, and it is there is no need to swap, because it is the largest element. So in this way it works like n minus I minus 1. Okay, I hope you understood this, and if not, you can dry run it by yourself, and then you will definitely understand that what I'm trying to say. Now we have to print the sorted array. So for that, first of all, I will write a message, a proper message, that it is a sorted array. Okay, then a semicolon, of course, otherwise it will give us error. For again we have to declare I equal to 0, then I less than 5, then I plus plus. Okay, now we will print our array here, printf, and then percentage d and slash n, and here goes x I. Okay, so in this way I hope it will work, fingers crossed. And yes, I think there is no error. Yes, yes, and we have our sorted array 2, 4, 5, 6, and 9. So we have our sorted array. Now I also have promised you about optimization of this program. So now I will tell you one important thing about bubble sort, that how it is better than other sorting algorithm. The main thing is that bubble sort we can easily identify if the array is already sorted. So if already sorted array is given to us, then we can easily identify with the help of this algorithm. How are we going to do that? So we can add a simple variable. So it is like int, and I take it as flag, suppose, and I put it as 0. So basically we can say that we have set the value of flag as false, and here we will set the value as 1. Okay, so if no in the inner loop, in the inner j loop, if no swapping takes place, then the value of flag will remain 0. Okay, and if no swapping is going on, or if no swapping is taking place inside this j loop, it means every there is no need of sorting, means the array is already sorted. Okay, so in that case we can identify, or we can say that we can conclude that the array is already sorted. All right, and if there is at least one swapping, even there is one swapping, then it means that sorting, we need sorting right now. So in that case we can say that the array is not sorted. So what we will do after this j loop, we'll put a condition like this: if flag, our flag variable, is equal to 0. What does it mean? If flag is equal to 0, it means no swapping has been taken place, because flag is not set to 1, means no swapping has been taken place and the array is already sorted. So we can write here as printf. So printf already sorted. Okay, already sorted. and yes. And also we'll break here because there is no need to run the loop unnecessarily because no swapping is taking place. So in this way we can identify whether the array is already sorted or not. So let's run this sorted array. Now we'll take here, I'm going to change the list and I'm already, no, I'm making it sorted. Okay. Already sorted. Okay, so in this way we can see that we can easily identify with a single variable flag that if the array is already sorted or not. I hope you understood the bubble sort and its logic and its implementation. If yes, please subscribe to my channel and like this video and also do comment. And one more exercise that you can do at home is that you can take an array in descending order and then you try to sort it and then see what happens. Okay, so thank you very much.